We keep hearing, nothing is impossible. It has become a slogan, a motivational poster, a line in advertisements. But let me ask, what do you really mean when you say nothing is impossible? Do you mean you can fly without wings? Do you mean you can become immortal in this body? Do you mean you can stop death itself? If that is your understanding, then you are deceiving yourself. Because yes, this body has limits. Yes, the material world has its boundaries. You cannot ask water not to flow downhill, and you cannot ask fire not to burn. Within the laws of nature, impossibility does exist. But Vedanta teaches us something deeper. It says, the impossible is only impossible for the false identity you carry. For the ego, for the restless mind, many things appear impossible. But when you discover your true nature, when you realize the self, then impossibility vanishes. Not because the laws of nature are broken, but because the real you was never bound by those laws to begin with. Think about it. You say, it is impossible for me to live without my phone, without money, without people's approval. But is it really impossible? Or is it just that your ego cannot imagine freedom? You say, it is impossible for me to stay calm in difficulty. Is it? Or is it that you have never looked at the source of calmness within? The real problem is not that life is full of impossibilities. The real problem is that we live from a small, weak self-image. And from that little image, everything looks impossible. Imagine a bird that has forgotten its wings. It sits on the ground saying, it is impossible to fly. Is it really impossible? Or has the bird simply forgotten what it already is? Vedanta is constantly reminding you, you are not weak, you are not small, you are not this little identity chained to likes and dislikes. You are the infinite self. And for the infinite, nothing is impossible. But don't misunderstand. This does not mean you will start walking on water or stop aging. Number, it means that the real difficulties, fear, greed, anger, despair, slavery to desires, those impossibilities vanish. The impossible task of living peacefully in a restless world becomes possible. The impossible dream of remaining joyful without conditions becomes possible. The impossible challenge of meeting death without fear becomes possible. See the difference? The ego dreams of breaking physical laws. I will achieve the impossible by defeating nature. The self simply lives in freedom, where nothing in life can bind it. That is the true meaning of nothing is impossible. Look around you. Why do people give up so easily? They say, it is impossible, I cannot do it. But they are only looking at the outer challenge, never at their inner strength. If you only look at obstacles, everything looks impossible. But if you look at the source of strength within, you realize you can endure, you can act, you can rise. And what is that source of strength? It is silence. It is clarity. It is freedom from false identities. When you stop saying, I am this weak body, I am this frightened mind, and instead realize, I am the witness, untouched, unlimited, then no situation overwhelms you. So the next time you hear, nothing is impossible, don't take it as a shallow, motivational line. Understand it in the Vedantic sense. Nothing is impossible for the self. For the ego, everything is a problem. For the self, life flows effortlessly. The one who is free within, for him, what can be impossible? Hunger comes and he eats. Hunger doesn't come, and he is at peace. Wealth comes, he uses it. Wealth doesn't come, he remains content. Praise comes, he smiles. Insult comes, he still smiles. Tell me, what can defeat such a person? So don't chase miracles. Don't try to prove you can do the impossible by walking through walls. Instead, live in such a way that no external condition can shake your peace. That is the greatest impossibility, and that is exactly what Vedanta makes possible. Remember, the real bondage is not outside. It is inside, in your beliefs, in your fears, and your attachments. Break them, and you will see that indeed nothing is impossible. Because you are not this limited bundle of desires. You are the limitless self. That is the Vedantic meaning of nothing is impossible. It is not motivation, it is realization.